Welcome back to Brawl Justice and the continuing saga of the disappearance of Mortis Hat. I'm your host Lex, and in this episode we have some shocking developments. We will find out more about CanYaDigIt and what put him on the path of ending up behind bars. After that, we have an exclusive interview with Ryan Lighton to see if he is able to clarify his role in this heinous crime, or if his true nature will be revealed. Finally, we will unearth some shocking new evidence that will reshape this mystery. And stay tuned to the very end for a never-before-seen reveal from CanYaDigIt. Will we get closer to finding out what happened to Mortis' hat? Let's find out. We start off today with breaking news on CanYaDigIt, who is currently being held in connection with the crime.
This just in, shocking news from the Hard Rock County Jail. Just last night, a riot broke out in the wake of protests from loyal CanYaDigIt supporters. We received this recorded statement from the man himself.
Y'all know I'm being framed. I ain't no snitch, yo, but the real perpetrator is out there, and they know who they is. They better watch their backs, yo, cause as soon as I get out, I'm gonna be after them faster than those prison tacos went through me last night. I do got a plan to get out, though. You know, I ain't saying I'm going full Shawshank Redemption, yo, but it is kinda in my name. You dig?
Well, there you have it, folks. Amidst a riot, CanYaDigIt himself came forward to talk about who he claims committed this crime. Jerry, people don't think seriously of a newscaster who talks about tacos in the middle of a news story. We'll see if the Brawl authorities are actually able to keep CanYaDigIt confined, or if he will be able to dig himself out of this situation. Oh my gosh, Jerry. I cannot keep working under these conditions.
So CanYaDigIt clings to his innocence. But what do those close to him have to say? We track down his brother for some insight. But hey, mate, I know this ain't the popular thing to say, but I think he did it. I mean, crikey, he is my brother and I love him, but this isn't his first run-in with the law, you know? He did a stint once before. He wouldn't quite tell us why he was in, but I know he was in for something. So he has been arrested before. Well, we did some digging and we found his arrest record. The charge in question was for trespassing, and the details on the rap sheet give us even further insight. We were able to get an exclusive interview with CanYaDigIt before the riots broke out. We wanted to find a bit more about his youth to see if we could figure out what led him to this point. So why don't you tell us about how you grew up? Man, you know, we was poor when I was growing up. My mom's cleaned a barbershop for like $50 a month, yo, just so we could survive. So it was just you and your mom then? Nah, man, me, my moms, and my sister. My pops and my brother, man, they moved away when I was just a little dude. I never really got to know my brother. They moved to like Australia or something when I was like 3 years old. Oh, that's horrible, Digit. So you and your brother weren't close? Man, you know, it is what it is, man. I don't even know how old my brother really is. I think we about the same age, I guess, but you know, everybody has their hardships in life, yo. But in the end, you responsible for yourself. You got to pull yourself up by the flip-flops and make something of yourself. Flip-flops, right. Okay, I mean, but you had a good childhood though. Yeah, man. You know, I played lots of baseball, I got me a sweet ride, and I chased me some women too. Ah, so you were good with the ladies then, eh? Man, you know, a gentleman doesn't kiss and tell, yo, but let's just say I had more women than that BTS band. Okay, but back to the situation at hand, Digit. So you claim that you were set up. I mean, do you know who did it? Well, not exactly, yo, but I know there were some shady things happening, Lex. You see, I ain't no snitch. But there was this one dude who was trying to get Mortis' hat to make some money. I was just trying to stop him, yo, but when I got to the cemetery, I heard that dude, but then I saw another guy. I don't even know who he was. It was real dark in there, yo. But he was a pretty big dude. I just grabbed some hat, yo, and I just took off running. I was gonna give it back to him. A tragic story from Digit of a tough but happy upbringing. And it appears there could be a mastermind behind this disappearance of the hat. But who's behind it all? What are their motives? And who could this third person be? While the details are still very much foggy when it comes to CanYaDigIt, we hope to get some clarification when it comes to Ryan. If you recall, we have reason to believe that he was connected to the crime from an anecdotal evidence presented by a former Supercell employee. That man told a harrowing tale of Ryan in a manic state over Mortis's hat.
It's like he was crazy or something. He just kept on going back and forth, mumbling to himself, looking at the ground saying, I want Mortis's hat gone. It was really weird.
So after much back and forth with his Supercell lawyer, we were finally able to get Ryan to agree to a phone interview. Now with all this speculation, I was not about to go easy on him. Hey Ryan, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today. Now there are a lot of questions going around, and I'm sure you've seen the past video and the allegations made by that former Supercell employee that we really can't reveal his identity, but you know, he talked about an incident where you were pacing around and looking down and saying, we have to get rid of Mortis's hat. Can you tell us your take on that and what that was all about?
First of all, I don't know who this guy is who started these rumors over the incident where I allegedly said we have to get rid of Mortis's hat. But what I actually said was, we need to do something with this mat. That's why I was looking down. The floor in the office was in disarray. It needed replacing.
Okay, so it was just a misunderstanding. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly. I think the evidence speaks for itself. CanYaDigIt was clearly in possession of the hat when being chased by the Brawl authorities. If that's not being caught red-handed, I don't know what is.
I mean, Digit claims he was being set up though, Ryan. I mean, how do you respond to that?
Ravings of a madman. The things that unstable people say is beyond my control.
Okay, but what about your voice on that 911 call, Ryan? Do you deny that there was you there at the scene when Mortis's hat was taken?
I mean, sure, that was the song I sang, but it's a catchy tune. Like, who's to say that's my voice? It was background audio and low quality recording.
I mean, that's not exactly answering my question now, is it, Ryan? So, you know what? Let me be very direct. Did you or did you not have something to do with the disappearance of the hat?
Are you accusing me of something, Lex? Because I don't like the tone you're taking. Listen, I've never been a fan of the hat. I don't even know this CanYaDigIt guy, so if you're done grilling me, I've got better things to do than waste my time on a silly hat when Mortis looks way better without the stupid thing.
I think you're misunderstanding me, Ryan. I mean, am I to understand that this is all just some big misunderstanding, or... Ryan? Okay, I guess he's gone. So Ryan clings to his innocence, but some things just didn't quite sit well with me in that interview. First off, he says that he doesn't know who CanYaDigIt is, but clearly he does. Second, he never actually said he didn't have anything to do with the disappearance of the hat. If he was free from guilt, then why wouldn't he just come out and say that he had nothing to do with it? Instead, he was visibly irritated and walked off the interview. He also unapologetically admitted that he has never liked Mortis's hat. With these rising suspicions, a detective from the Brawl authorities followed him to find out what was really happening.
Yes, thank you. Detective Rayburn reporting in. Now, I ended up following this guy for a couple weeks, watching his comings and his goings, and aside from his intense love with plaid shirts, we managed to come across some interesting developments along the way. Now, I managed to capture a picture of this man at 3 a.m. behind the casino in downtown Helsinki, and what appeared to be some sort of covert meeting. And yeah, the fellow that he's meeting with, we managed to follow him as well, but he definitely knew how to lose a tail. Now, the best picture we were able to capture was a little bit blurry, but if you ask me, this man is up to no good. This is definitely not a picture of an innocent man. Now, we never came across any concrete evidence, but we did manage to find one guy who had a recollection of the incident inside the casino.
Yeah, I saw him. The guy with the blue plaid shirt, right? He didn't really approach me, but I did overhear him talking about selling something really, really valuable. He also was saying the words hopefully soon and fingers crossed over and over again to himself. I don't know what that was all about, but it sounds like he isn't too good at giving people actual times for things.
So who was this mystery man that Ryan was meeting, and what exactly was he trying to sell? Then, on October the 7th, shocking new forensic evidence came to light. After thorough testing in a Brawl Authority's lab, some very strange things were discovered. Here to report on that is lead forensic technician Stewie McBeaker. Stewie, we're rolling.
Yes. Well, after rigorous testing of the samples and reference samples and looking through multiple VMTRs, we did find 2 separate specimens that were on or in the subject in question. One of the samples found on the hat did belong to Mr. Digit. That was confirmed through mitochondrial DNA matching, as well as we ran it through CODIS, so of course it's correct. Furthermore, no 2 people have the exact same assortment of lengths except for identical twins, so unless Mr. Digit happens to have an identical twin, we are 99.9% certain that it is indeed his DNA. What has us more confused than Gollum in The Return of the King is that we found a second male specimen that has yet to be identified, but as soon as we do find out who it belongs to, we will be saying bye 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 better than the Backstreet Boys. Get it? That is a music joke. It's quite funny.
So if Mortis wore his hat every day, and the bats were constantly inside, wouldn't there be some sort of DNA from him? Or even some residue from the bats? That brings the question up, is that really actually Mortis's hat? Or is it a replica? What hat did Digit take? Who is the mastermind behind all of this? And most importantly, exactly how many women did Digit have when he was a young man? But I'm afraid that's all the time we have for today. We do have a tip line set up, so if you have any information on this mystery, or if you think you know who committed the crime, comment in the section down below, and subscribe for the bone-chilling final episode of Brawl Justice, where all will be revealed. Until next time, I'm your host Lex. Stay safe and brawl on. Hey Digit, how about you take off those glasses? We all dying to see, man.
Aye, Lex. Just for you, my man. Just for you.
What?
Yeah. I don't do that just for anybody.
Alright, dude, well, how about the hat? Come on, take off the hat for us. We all want to see your hair.
Yo, man, I guess I can take off the hat. I ain't done this since I was at least 2 years old, but I even take a shower in this hat. But okay, alright, Lex. Just for you, yo, because I know you's on my side.
Oh my god, what is Digit? What in the world?